Good morning and welcome to Round the Globe on Aneke TV. First, the headlines. Romania summons Russian ambassador after drone breaches country's airspace. Israeli strikes intensify in northern Gaza. Zulu King challenges cultural experts to a stick fight. Jusun, Enugu indefinite strike over unpaid arrears. Miyeti Allah commends Enugu State government over peaceful intervention in herders' attack. I am Aneke. Now the news in detail. Romania says a Russian drone has breached its airspace, the second NATO country to report such an incursion. Romanian fighter jets were in the air monitoring a Russian attack in Ukraine on Saturday and were able to track the drone near Ukraine's southern border, the defense ministry said in a statement. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said the incursion could not be a mistake. It was an obvious expansion of the war by Russia. Moscow has not commented on the Romanian claims. On Wednesday, Poland said it had shot down at least 3 Russian drones which had entered its airspace. Meanwhile, Romania has strongly condemned the entry of a Russian drone into its airspace during an attack on neighboring Ukraine, saying Moscow's actions pose a new challenge to Black Sea security. Poland had already denounced the intrusion of Russian drones into its airspace last week, calling on Moscow to avoid further provocations. Polish fighter jets scrambled on Saturday in response to fresh Russian drone strikes just over the border in Ukraine. Romania, a NATO member, has said several drone fragments crash on its territory since Moscow invaded Ukraine, especially as Russia has stepped up attacks on Ukrainian ports. In a statement after the drone entry, Romania's defense ministry said it strongly condemns the irresponsible actions of the Russian Federation and emphasizes that they represent a new challenge to regional security and stability in the Black Sea area. It added that such incidents demonstrate the Russian Federation's lack of respect for international law. The EU's foreign policy chief, Kaja Kallas, said the incident was unacceptable and accused Moscow of a reckless escalation. In the meantime, the Russian embassy in Romania says a drone incursion in Romanian airspace was a provocation by Ukraine. This is coming after Moscow's envoy, Ambassador Vladimir Lipayev, was summoned by the foreign ministry over the incident. Mr. Lipayev said Romania's charge that Russia was responsible for the intrusion was unfounded. A statement by the embassy late Sunday said all the facts had led one to believe that it was a deliberate provocation by the Kiev regime and added that Bucharest had failed to concretely and convincingly respond to questions posed by Russia. Romania reported late Saturday that its airspace had been breached by a Russian drone. The drone did not fly over populated areas and did not pose an imminent threat to the safety of the population, the ministry said. Now we head over to Gaza. Israeli forces have stepped up their assault on Gaza City with a wave of heavy airstrikes marking a sharp escalation from previous military operations. Unlike earlier phases of the war, the current offensive has relied heavily on aerial bombardments, with entire apartment blocks and large concrete structures reduced to rubble. The intensification of strikes in recent days has triggered a surge in civilian displacement. Israel has warned all residents of Gaza City to leave immediately in anticipation of a huge ground offensive. Meanwhile, U.S. Secretary of State Mr. Marco Rubio in Israel as its military intensified attacks on northern Gaza, flattening multiple high-rise buildings and killing at least 13 Palestinians. Mr. Rubio said he was in Israel to seek answers from officials about how they see the way forward in Gaza following Israel's attack on Hamas leaders in Qatar that upended efforts to broker an end to the conflict. His 2-day visit is also a show of support for an increasingly isolated Israel as the United Nations General Assembly overwhelmingly voted in favor of a non-binding resolution supporting a 2-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu strongly opposes the recognition of a Palestinian state. From Africa, the King of South Africa's large Zulu community has challenged a professor and cultural expert to a stick fight, saying he had been insulted along with the entire Zulu nation. King Misizulu issued the challenge to Professor Musa Sulu in front of thousands of people who had gathered at his newly built royal palace for the annual Reed Dance. Professor Zulu stated that he took the king's personal challenge as a joke. However, he said he was worried for his safety in case he was attacked by other Zulus. This news broadcast is coming to you live from Aneke TV. Remember, you can follow us on all social media feeds on Facebook, X, TikTok, and here on YouTube, all at Aneke TV. A quick reminder of major highlights in the bulletin. Romania summons Russian ambassador after drone breaches country's airspace. Israeli strikes intensify in northern Gaza. Zulu king challenges cultural expert to a stick fight. Coming up shortly in the news still, Jusun Enugu begins indefinite airstrike over unpaid arrears. Miyetti Allah commends Enugu state government over peaceful intervention in herders' attack. Please stay tuned. You're still watching Around the Globe on Aneke TV. We'll now bring you stories from Nigeria. In the meantime, the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority has issued a stern warning to air travelers, cautioning against verbal or physical assault on airline staff and cabin crew, while also reminding passengers to adhere strictly to baggage weight limits. In a public notice posted on its official X handle, on the NCAA stressed that cabin crew members do not make laws but are tasked with enforcing aviation regulations and ensuring passenger safety aboard aircraft. We move to healthcare. Doctors under the Association of Resident Doctors in the Federal Capital Territory Administration may commence an indefinite strike today following the expiration of a 7-day warning strike. The association's Congress met yesterday to deliberate on the next line of action, with sources hinting that a total shutdown of services was the most likely outcome. The association had embarked on a 7-day warning strike last Monday to press home its demands following months of unresolved negotiations with the FCTA. In the meantime, the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, Jusun Enugu chapter, has confirmed the state of an indefinite strike over unpaid salary arrears. Mr. Samson Ifedima, the state's Jusun chairman, confirmed the development in an interview with newsmen in Enugu. He explained that the strike is a resumption of earlier suspended industrial action over non-payment of the consolidated judiciary salary structure and other outstanding entitlements. Mr. Ifedima said the strike began last Friday following a directive from the Jusun national body instructing Enugu judiciary workers to withdraw services. He stressed that while the state government had implemented judiciary autonomy, staff sacrifices were ignored. He urged the chief judge and president of the Customary Court of Appeal in Enugu to immediately start payment of the consolidated judiciary salary structure pending since 2018. Ifedima further demanded payment of 4 months arrears owed staff employed in the High Court since October 2022 and 7 months arrears for those in customary courts. According to him, Jusun in Enugu is only asking the heads of court to implement the consolidated salary structure in a way that accommodates staff welfare. He noted that the national body was available for negotiations if invited, adding the strike would be suspended once their demands were fully met. Over to safety matters. The Federal Road Safety Corps of FCT Command has intensified efforts against traffic violations under Operation Restore Sanity 4, arresting 254 offenders, including a military impersonator, and securing 245 convictions during mobile court sittings. In a statement signed by Corps Public Education Officer Mr. Olusegun Ogungbemide, The FRSC said the special operation, conducted in collaboration with the Nigerian Correctional Service and the Nigerian Army Brigade of Guards, targeted the busy Abuja-Nyanya corridor, a hotspot for route violations, overloading and reckless driving. Also, the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has arrested an Indian businessman, Gupta Kumar, and 3 Nigerian accomplices for drug trafficking. The 3 Nigerian accomplices are Ogunlana Olarewaju, Olushola Kayode, and Bakare Muhib. This is contained in a statement by the NDLEA Director of Media and Advocacy, Mr. Femi Babafemi, issued to newsmen in Abuja. Mr. Babafemi said they were arrested in connection with the seizure of 2,248,000 pills of tramadol of 200 milligrams intercepted at the Murtala Muhammed International Airport, Ikeja in Lagos. He said that the tramadol shipment worth 3.9 billion naira in street value was imported from Delhi, India. Meanwhile, the Adamawa Police Command has rescued 5 children suspected to have been abducted from Meduguri in Borno and transported to Mobi Town in Adamawa. The command spokesman, Mr. Suleiman Ngoroje, announced this in a statement in Yola. Mr. Ngoroje explained that on September 13, the area commander in Mobi, ACP Marcos Manja, acted on credible information, led his team to intercept the 5 children found wandering on the streets of Mobi Town. Now we move to the weather reports. The Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET, has forecast thunderstorms and rainfall across the country from today to Wednesday. NIMET's weather outlook released yesterday in Abuja predicted isolated thunderstorms with moderate rains in the morning over Kaduna, Gombe, Bauchi, Kebbi, Adamawa, and Taraba states. In the afternoon and evening, isolated thunderstorms with moderate rain are expected across the northern region. Flash floods are likely in Adamawa, Taraba, and Gombe states. For the central region, a cloudy atmosphere with intervals of sunshine is expected in the morning, accompanied by moderate rainfall over Niger, Kogi, Kwara, the FCT, and Benue. Thunderstorms with moderate rains are forecast over most parts of the central region later in the day. NIMET predicted cloudy skies over the southern region in the morning, with moderate rains expected in Ekiti, Ondo, Rivers, Akwa Ibom, and Cross River states. Moderate rains are anticipated over most parts of the southern region later in the day. Now we head over to the business news. The federal government is initiating a bold new industrial roadmap aimed at more than doubling the sector's share of national output over the next decade, projecting a rise from the current 10% contribution to 25% of GDP by 2035. Minister of State for Industry, Senator John Owan, announced the plan at the Gas Tech exhibition and conference in Milan, describing the framework as a defining milestone of President Bola Tinubu's administration. According to the minister, the policy signals Nigeria's transition away from resource-dependent economy toward a competitive, innovation-led industrial hub. In a related development, the minister said the government has validated the Nigerian industrial policy aimed at driving inclusive growth, job creation, and national competitiveness, adding that it was designed to transform the industrial sector into the true engine of sustainable growth and national pride. Also in business, the Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, MACBAN, has commended the Enugu State government for its peaceful intervention in the attack on herders in the state. The commendation is contained in a statement issued by the MACBAN National Deputy Director, Mr. Gidado Siddiqui in Enugu. Mr. Siddiqui, who also extolled the state government's efforts in ensuring peace and justice, expressed confidence in Governor Peter Mbah's commitment in protecting all lawful trades in the state. According to him, the attack on 6 herders and the rustling of more than 100 cattle in the state was unfortunate, but he commended the state government's intervention on the matter. Mr. Siddiqui noted that MACBAN's engagement with the state government to broker peace had been fruitful and urged his members to exercise confidence in the security agency's investigation. Still talking business. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, has told members to register with the Dangote Refinery ahead of its commencement of the fuel distribution nationwide scheme today. This was announced in a statement at the weekend by IPMAN President and Secretary Abubakar Maigandi and James Toll, respectively. This comes as Dangote Refinery last Thursday announced that it would kick off fuel distribution nationwide with reduced retail prices. Now we head to the world of sports. Nigerian sprinter Koyinshola Ajayi will compete in the final of the ongoing 2025 World Athletics Championship in Tokyo today after delivering another stellar performance in the semi-finals held yesterday. Ajayi is featuring in his first World Championships and becomes the first Nigerian to make the men's 100-meter final in 18 years. The last Nigerian to do so was national record holder and former sprinter Olusoji Fasuba in 2007. The former African record holder finished fourth in Osaka, Japan. Moving to entertainment, two housemates, Denari and Tracy, have been evicted from the Big Brother Niger Season 10 house during the live eviction show held yesterday in Lagos. The event, hosted by Ebuka Obiwuchendo, drew a lively audience eager to witness the week's exits. Speaking about his future plans, Denari told the host that he was open to exploring a career in acting and singing. And that's all on Round the Globe on Aneke TV. To end Around the Globe, here are the main points. Romania has summoned the Russian ambassador over drone-breached country's space. Israeli forces have stepped up their assault on Gaza City with a wave of heavy airstrikes. And we also told you that the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, JUSUN Enugu State Chapter, has confirmed the commencement of an indefinite strike over unpaid salary arrears. And to end the news, for breaking news and eyewitness reports, please call 0703-043-7110. You can send a message across all our social media platforms of Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, and here on YouTube, all at Aneke TV. I am Amaka Nichi. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, I'm Debra Wakoba. I am Chidimike Mede.
I am Uche Osai.
I'm Chiwendo Ifeonwankwe.
My name is Obobina Samson.
Please keep watching Aneke TV, or you can visit us on our socials like Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, or YouTube, all at Aneke TV.
This is Aneke TV. We move with the world.
Hello, I'm Debra Wakoba. I am Chidimike Mede.
I am Uche Osai.
I'm Chiwendo Ifeonwankwe.
My name is Obobina Samson.
Please keep watching Aneke TV, or you can visit us on our socials like Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, or YouTube, all at Aneke TV.
This is Aneke TV. We move with the world.
Hello, I'm Debra Wakoba. I am Chidimike Mede.
I am Uche Osai.
I'm Chiwendo Ifeonwankwe.
My name is Obobina Samson.
Please keep watching Aneke TV, or you can visit us on our socials like Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, or YouTube, all at Aneke TV.
This is Aneke TV. We move with the world.
Hello, I'm Debra Wakoba. I am Chidimike Mede.
I am Uche Osai.
I'm Chiwendo Ifeonwankwe.
My name is Obobina Samson.
Please keep watching Aneke TV, or you can visit us on our socials like Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, or YouTube, all at Aneke TV.
This is Aneke TV. We move with the world.
Aqua, water. Water is life. Ancient, sacred, pure. It remembers creation and carries cleansing. It can be calm or it can rage, but it always moves. Aqua teaches us to be soft yet strong, to adapt yet remain, to flow around obstacles yet shape even the hardest stone. We came from water. We need water. And sometimes, when words fail and hearts break, only water falling from our eyes or washing over our skin can heal what language cannot.
Humility. Humility is not thinking less of yourself. It is thinking of yourself less. It is the quiet dignity of those who serve when no one claps and rise when no one cheers. In a world shouting for attention, humility whispers truth. It chooses peace over pride and silence over show. It knows that value isn't in volume and honor isn't always visible. The humble carry unseen power. They lift others without needing a pedestal. And in doing so, they rise higher than ego ever could.
mototo. The case can I do? Maka we the people, my show, Maka no more Juja. Gonna take a bit, my show, we go. But you mean I get on call by you. But I get on call by you. Again, again,
Hello, I'm Bebra Wakoba. I am Chidimike Mede.
I am Uche Osai.
I'm Chiwendo Ifeonwankwe.
My name is Obina Samson.
Please keep watching Aneke TV, or you can visit us on our socials like Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, or YouTube, all at Aneke TV.
This is Aneke TV. We move with the world. Enugu is one of the 36 states of Nigerian Federation. It is located on a hilltop in the southern part of the country. It has a rich history and robust cultural heritage that boasts its uniqueness. Igbo is a widely spoken language in Enugu State. Enugu is popularly called the Coal City State because of its large deposits of coal and other mineral resources. Enugu has 17 local government area councils. The history of Enugu dates back to the early 20th century when the British discovered coal in the Udi Hills in 1909, which led to the development of Enugu City in 1912 as a thriving mining town. Enugu empowered the Nigeria railway system and electric plants greatly during the colonial era. On the 27th of August 1991, Enugu was carved out from Anambra to become a state. As the home of the Igbo people, Enugu's culture reflected in its music, art, and traditions. Enugu is situated in the eastern part of Nigeria, sharing borders with Benue at the north, Ebonyi at the east, Abia and Imo at the south, and Anambra and Kogi at the west, covering approximately 7,161 square kilometers. Enugu is characterized by undulating hills, forests, rivers, and fertile soil, making it suitable for farming. The state experiences significant rainfall with an average annual precipitation of around 2,100 millimeters and temperatures averaging 28 degrees Celsius. The people of Enugu State are predominantly Igbo, one of the largest ethnic groups in Nigeria. The Igbo language is a fundamental part of their culture and identity, with many dialects spoken across the state. Language plays a vital role in shaping the culture and identity of the Igbo people. Enugu is very rich in culture and traditional practices, one of which is the New Yam Festival, Iriji, which is a traditional celebration that marks the beginning of the harvest season. Another significant cultural event is the Masquerade Festival, Mmong, a colorful display of traditional dances, songs, and drumming. During this festival, different communities come together to showcase their masquerades.
Morning 042. Thank you for joining us today. You're watching Sunrise on Aneke TV, your reliable voice every morning, adding light to your day. I'm Deborah Wakoba, coming to you live from our studio here in vibrant Enugu.
Good morning, and I'm Uche Osai. Wherever you are, at home, in your office, or in traffic, thank you for letting us into your space this beautiful Monday morning. As always, we're here to refresh, inform, and motivate.
Yes, and it's Monday, September 15, 2025. It's a new week, another new and refreshing sunrise, and we've got everything you need this morning, from the latest news and weather to trending stories, and also that signature sunrise vibe to help you own your day.
So, grab your tea or coffee, relax, enjoy the ride, because the sunrise is here.
Yes, and on today's sunrise, we will begin with our quote of the day, an inspiring or thoughtful word that is not only educative, refreshing, but also a word that offers insight to whatever you do and make you to remain focused, well-driven, and motivated.
And right after that, we'll give you today's stories from our newspaper updates to keep you informed, and we'll serve that very hot and tasty.
Yes, and we've also got the weather report covering major cities in the southeast, and then which will, like always, keep you well prepared before you step out, or if you've stepped out, just to get you through the day.
And later, we'll take you through today's celebration to keep your spirits lifted.
Now, to our quote of the day, it is our quote of the day says, "The same sun that melts wax also hardens clay." I repeat, our quote of the day is saying, "The same sun that melts wax also hardens clay." And this speaks to circumstances having different effects on different people. And this quote that says, "The same sun that melts wax also hardens clay," teaches that circumstances or experiences affect people differently depending on their nature, character, or attitude. And the sun represents a common situation, challenge, or force, while wax and clay represent different types of people or responses. And when they are under the same heat, like using wax and clay for example, when they are under the same heat, wax softens and melts, but clay becomes firm and rigid. To simply put, life trials or influence don't determine the outcome alone. It's our inner qualities and how we respond that shape the results. For example, hardships may humble one person, that is, softens the person like wax, but then another person, it may make the person bitter or stubborn, and that is where we have the clay. Okay, so it shows that external conditions are less powerful than our internal disposition. Mr. Uche, I don't know if you have any input on this.
Debbie, you've summed it up very well. Okay. You understand? This is about, if I would say, just do you. Because what works for Mr. A may not work for Mr. B.
Yes.
Yes, so just know what works for you. You know, I'm a coffee person, so you won't, because I'm a coffee person, want to do coffee. No. Yeah, coffee may not work for you.
I'm a wine person.
You're a wine person and you look like wine. So, so just know you. Know you, do you, right?
Yes.
So what works for Mr. A may not work for Mr. B, and that sums it up. So knowing what works for you is important.
Yes.
That's why I think this quote is speaking to the same sun shining for everybody may mean different things for different persons. The similar situation may mean different things for different persons. Yes, just do you.
Yes, thank you very much. And as always, please try to keep in mind that each new sunrise is an opportunity or a platform for us to grow, to learn, or try something more present in everything we do. And then we're going on a short break. Up next will be the weather report for today. Please stay tuned.
You're still watching Sunrise on Aneke TV. Stay tuned as we bring you weather reports across major cities in the southeast.
Yes, and we'll begin with Oka. In Oka, the day begins with showers and rain through the morning hours. Temperature starting around 22 to 24 degrees Celsius. And by midday, conditions stay mostly cloudy, with scattered showers peaking near 27 to 28 degrees. As we move into the evening, expect thunderstorms and more rain, cooling back to about 22 to 23 degrees.
Over in Enugu, the morning also starts wet, with showers and rain, holding steady around 25 to 26 degrees. By midday, the clouds will give way to a few funny breaks, with highs climbing out to about 28 degrees. But keep that umbrella close. By late afternoon and evening, more rain and thunderstorms will return, dropping temperatures back into the mid-20s.
And in Abakaliki, it is a cloudy start with morning temperatures around 23 degrees. Rain develops mid-morning, lasting into early afternoon with highs reaching 26 to 28 degrees. And later in the afternoon and evening, more showers are expected before skies settle into a cloudy night, cooling to about 24 to 25 degrees Celsius.
Owerri sees an early morning rainfall. Temperatures hovering around between 22 and 24 degrees. As the day progresses, there will be a mix of partial sunshine and clouds, pushing highs up to 28 to 29 degrees. But by evening, strong showers and thunderstorms return, cooling things back into the lower 20s.
And finally, in Umuahia, showers dominate the morning with temperatures near 23 to 24 degrees. Through midday, conditions remain mostly cloudy with highs of 26 to 28 degrees. By evening, expect heavy showers and thunderstorms, cooling the city back to around 23 to 24 degrees Celsius.
So, wherever you are in the southeast today, stay comfortable, stay safe, keep an umbrella handy. Rain or shine, we've got you covered. This is your weather report today on Aneke TV. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
You're still watching Sunrise on Aneke TV. And today we'll be taking a look at a celebration. And today is International Day of Democracy. In 2007, the United Nations General Assembly created the International Day of Democracy. They wanted to support the idea that people should have a say in how they are governed. And the first time this day was observed was in 2008. And it lines up with a document passed in 1997 by the Inter-Parliamentary Union, which supports fair and open government. This day reminds the world that freedom to vote, speak, and organize matters deeply. It gives citizens everywhere a reason to think about how democracy affects their daily lives. And also, it is a day where leaders are also urged to listen, respect rights, and keep power in check. But before I proceed, I'd like to explain what democracy is. Now, democracy is a system of government in which the power to make decisions about how a society is governed rests ultimately with the people. And the word itself comes from the Greek words demos, which means the people, and kratos, which means power or rule. So democracy, it literally means ruled by the people. So the International Day of Democracy celebrates the idea that everyone should have a say, and it's about speaking up, taking part, and knowing your voice counts. And this day brings attention to how people help shape the world around them, and it also highlights fairness, freedom, and the value of shared decisions in everyday life. Now, democracy opens the door to real change. It helps communities grow through open talk, equal rights, and fair rules. And on this day, people are urged to defend these values. So you might be wondering, how is this day being celebrated? Well, this day can be celebrated by meeting your local representatives, which you can schedule a visit with elected officials to discuss community concerns. Understanding their roles can also empower you to participate more effectively. We also have hosting a voting simulation. Now, you can set up a mock election to educate participants about the voting process and telling them about the advantage and disadvantage of voting and not voting. And this activity can demystify elections and encourage civic engagement, telling them that their vote or their thought matters. And now you can also share stories on social media, post about what democracy means to you using hashtags like hashtag democracy day, and then sharing your personal stories can highlight the day importance of participation. So please, the key point of this day is for us to know as citizens that our voice matters, and also for those leaders to know that you can actually listen to the voice of people you're ruling over. I don't know if you would like to say anything concerning this, Mr. Uche.
Debbie, you've summed it quite well.
Okay.
Yes, democracy, we are told is government of the people, for the people, and by the people, which they have ascribed as a layman's definition of democracy.
Okay.
But give or take, democracy still remains government by accredited representatives. And then today that we are celebrating this day, like you did mention, you understand, is a day for awareness, for people to know what democracy is all about, and then for popular participations in nominating, electing who represents us, who rules us, and like they did say, it's very important that we participate. At the end of the day, they say the minority will have their say, the majority will have their way. But give or take, democracy has been acclaimed to be the most popular form of government in the world, and then we encourage all of us to be participants in determining what kind of leadership that we would enjoy.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Well, please let us know what you're celebrating wherever you are, and you can tag us at Aneke TV across Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, X, TikTok, and then or you can call our phone number 070-3043-7110. And we'll be going on a short break. When we return, we'll be the newspaper review, and also we have a guest today who is going to be taking us on the challenges of resident doctors in Nigeria. And the guests for today would be Dr. Henry Odo. Please stay with us. Hello, I'm very Deborah Wakoba. I am Chidimike Mede.
I am Uche Osai.
I'm Chiwendo Ifeonwankwe.
My name is Obina Samson.
Please keep watching Aneke TV, or you can visit us on our socials like Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, or YouTube, all at Aneke TV.
This is Aneke TV. We move with the world.
You're still watching Sunrise on Aneke TV. Now let's take a look at what's on our front page newspaper today on The Nation, Punch, Vanguard and Guardian newspaper. And on today's show, we have a guest by name, Mr. Chris Aniboko. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Hello, Deborah.
You're welcome. Happy New Week, if I must say.
Thank you very much. I hope you had a splendid weekend.
Yes, I did. I did.
Mr. Chris, you're welcome on the show.
Mr. Osai, happy Democracy Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy Democracy Day.
We are
That's
democratizing.
Yeah,
We're enjoying it.
true.
Thank you very much.
Yes, yeah, thank you. And now over to The Nation headline. It says, why not to vote Tinubu by Niger State Governor Bago? Now on the Punch headlines, we have Ibas defends 6 months tenure as opposition demands probe. And on the Vanguard headline, we have how attendants manipulate pumps, extort petrol consumers nationwide. And lastly, on the Guardian headline, we have parents struggle with steep tuition hike as schools wrestle rising OPEX. Now, we'll be taking our newspaper for today from The Nation that says, why not to vote Tinubu by Niger State Governor Bago? Now, Governor Umar Musa Bago of Niger State has said that the people of the North will support President Bola Tinubu's re-election bid. His reasoning includes the idea of rotation of power between North and South, which he says fosters inclusion and peaceful coexistence. He also says that support for Tinubu extends beyond Niger State, implying a broader mobilization in the North. And he has declared himself Director General of Tinubu's 2027 campaign from Niger State. I would like to know your take on this, Mr. Chris.
Anyway, thank you very much, Deborah. You know, politicians will always be politicians.
Okay.
For them, everything begins and ends with politics. And what is politics if not interest? Interest. In politics, there's no permanent enemy, there's no permanent friend. But there is always going to be permanent interest.
Okay.
So once my interest aligns with yours politically, then we become best of friends. You could even see us drinking from the same cup. I had Osai say he's a coffee man earlier in the morning you're outing. So if my interest aligns with that of Osai politically, then both of us could sip the same coffee from the same cup.
Okay.
But then give us time. Maybe after a tenure, a political dispensation,
Yes.
if the interest in not to align again,
Yeah.
they will not become the
There
worst
will
of
be differences,
enemies.
yes.
Worst of enemies. We'll not begin to kill ourselves, we'll not begin to fight. But when next the interest aligns, we become best of friends. So this is a pattern of politicking that our politicians actually do. But then again, behind that statement, you'll understand that the governor is just trying to play politics because the North, as it stands, is crying. Is crying over being shortchanged politically. Let me make you understand better. They begin to calculate from 1999, when we started this uninterrupted run of democracy.
Okay.
And then they now begin to say between the North and South, that's the division, that's the rotation between the North and the South. Obasanjo is from the South. He took 8 years in office. Jonathan is from the South. He spent 6 years in office. That's 14 years now. Tinubu is doing a 4-year now.
Okay.
If he's going to return for a second term, we don't know yet. But then if he returns, fine. So we'll calculate his 4 years now. So if you add 4 years of Tinubu to 14 years of Jonathan and Obasanjo, that'll be giving you 18 years.
Yeah.
Then let's look at the North. Yar'Adua did 2 years in office. Buhari did 8 years. That's 10 years.
Yeah.
So according to them, the South seemed to be shortchanging the North
Okay.
with a difference, a wide gap of 8 years. So for them, for some of them, especially the likes of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, where are they? They have moved now to the ADC. They now feel the North should take over power in 2027.
Okay.
But for some other Northerners who are loyal to President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, they insist, let the South complete the next 4 years, that's 2027 to 2031. You know why? Because some of them are hanging around the president. Because after the South, the power is going to go back to the North. So who's going to be the bride of the current president?
Okay.
Who is going to favor
The current president.
with the presidency
Okay.
when he's going to be leaving? So if you play your cards well now as a politician from the North, maybe, just maybe, the president may just decide to favor you. And again, you understand that the president and the vice, Shettima, well, the body language is suggesting that they are not the best of friends at the moment.
Okay.
So there are campaigns from 1 or 2 quarters that Tinubu should drop Shettima moving forward into the next round of elections.
Okay.
So if that's going to happen, a Northerner is going to replace Shettima.
Yeah.
So you can see the interest.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
But generally speaking, the northern part of Nigeria feels that the South has shortchanged them. But we want to also remind them that the history of Nigeria did not begin in 1999. Nigeria's history dates back to 1960,
Yeah.
when we gained independence. So let's begin to calculate which part of Nigeria has held on to power longer than the other. Are we going to throw away the rest part of our political history just because 1999, another turn of democracy started that has run uninterrupted? No. What about the days Shagari was in office?
Okay.
He's from the North. The series of military coup we had, military heads of states and the rest of them, apart from Agui Ironsi, who is from the southeast, the rest are from the north.
Okay.
And the military has spent a huge chunk of our political history in office. Most of the state creation was done by the military. Are you getting the point?
Yes.
And you know what happened? Look at Kano. Kano as a state is having up to 44 local government areas. The entire southeast states of 5 states put together, the number of local government areas we have in the southeast is not up to what Kano has as a state. And this thing was done by the military. Now, if you're going with the federal government sharing formula for allocation of resources every month, each local government gets an allocation. So how much of Nigerian resources goes to Kano State that has 44 local government areas? Are you with me here? So we are not going to throw away those years that the military spent in office because they were all from the north.
Yeah.
So hello, if they are listening, can they calm down? Nigeria belongs to every one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether Tinubu, whether Peter Obi, whether Jonathan, wherever the pendulum swings to in the south, please, if it is 2 tenors, then the south needs to complete their 8 years in office.
All right. It's Democracy Day. And the governor of Niger State, Mohammed Bargo, is within his right to call for the presidency, for the President Mohammed Tinubu, to be re-elected come 2027 and to remain in office till 2031. So he has that constitutional right. But one may begin to point out here, who is he speaking for? Is he speaking for himself? Or is he speaking for the people of Niger State or for the North as a whole? Currently, we must point out the fact that the North seems not to have a particular spokesperson or a particular political behemoth that everybody rallies around with the demise of former President Muhammadu Buhari. So we begin to call, who is he really speaking for, despite the fact that he's within his right to make these calls. Like our guest did point out, you will realize that he's a member of the APC.
Yeah.
So him calling for the president to continue and volunteering himself as his campaign manager is expected. You understand? Like he did point out that politics is about interest. And whenever this interest aligns, politicians will move mountains to see that this interest continue to succeed. And if one may detour a little bit, you will see this issue of who is going to be there in 2027 to 2031 begins to speak to the unwritten constitution of Nigeria. You understand? No, I've listened to these political actors, and each of them allude to this unwritten constitution that power has to rotate between the North and South. And when you go to the Nigerian constitution, you will know that there's nowhere is mentioned about power rotation. However, this unwritten law seems to be very strong and binding. Given that a lot of people have said that this is the time of the South and the need for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to complete his tenure. Yes, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has the right to seek re-election and complete 2 terms in office. However, based on achievement, many persons have called that he shouldn't go back. Besides, you know that the opposition would never want to support a ruling candidate, whether he does well or not. Whether he does well or not, there are persons, oppositions will always stand against a ruling party. You understand? So this call is beginning to arise that the opposition political party feels that they are the most rightful people to occupy that seat. They have most veritable candidates, right? And then, talking about Governor Bargo, you know that they are the likes of Nasir El-Rufai, former governor of Sokoto State, who have come up publicly to speak against this president and this presidency for lack of competency, for not steering the country in the right direction. You understand? So when these calls are made, we'll begin to check from which perspective, from which interest. But the most important thing for us here is that at the end of the day, let the vote of citizens, let the voice of citizens be heard. Whoever is speaking has only one vote. At the end of the day, what should matter and what we should be talking about now is electoral reform, to see that at the end of the day, the voice of the people, the vote of the people counts, right? Good. And then when you go the other end, I must point out, there are persons who have come out to puncture this issue of rotation, not being in our constitution, as a way of pacifying the South, and in particular the Southwest, given the demise of the winner of June 12th, Abiola, MK Abiola, that was done by the military to pacify them. We remember the crisis that heralded June 12th, you understand, following his demise. So that was to pacify the Southwest, to calm them down. That was why President Olusegun Obasanjo was the preferred candidate ahead of Alex Ekweme, who was the popular choice before the primaries of the PDP then. Having said that, I want to reiterate what I just said. At the end of the day, let the voice of the people be heard. Let votes count. At the end of the day, if the people decide that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done well and should be re-elected, then so be it.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that. Now, moving over to our Punch headline that says, Ibas defends 6 months tenure as opposition demands probe. Ibok Ete Ebas, the sole administrator of Rivers State, appointed under state of emergency since March 18, 2025. The opposition, including a faction of the PDP, NNPP, and civil society groups, is demanding a probe into how he has used the powers during his 6-month emergency rule. and they claim his tenure is unconstitutional and want accountability for expenditures and governance decision taken. And Mr. Chris, I would like to know your take on this.
Nigeria, we hail thee. The fact is, well, we've seen it happen. It's become part of our history now. The record is there that democratically elected governor could be unseated by whoever is the president. You know, we are good in certain precedents here. So it's become part of our history that even if you're elected, you do not necessarily need to be impeached by a two-thirds majority of the members of the legislature anymore.
Okay.
The president, if he no longer likes your face or your name, or if your interest is not aligning with that of his own, especially when we look at political party affiliations, then it's obvious that you could just, a state of emergency could be declared, and then you could be asked to vacate your seat. But then we need to be careful what we do. Because what we do today becomes part of our history tomorrow. It becomes part of the reference point for tomorrow's politicians. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, how much I know him, he's a Democrat. He fought for democracy. I mean, he lost his life, almost lost his life, fighting for trying to defend democracy. Yes, he was around Moshood, Abiola, during the 1993 outing. He actually mobilized Nadeko, and they spoke out vehemently against the military junta then. They came for him, and then he had to go on exile and ran away from Nigeria. And then later on, he returned, and, you know, became part of the democratic process and system. And now that he's seated as the president of Nigeria, the expectation is that he will defend democracy to the last letter. Today is Democracy Day, World Democracy Day. What is Nigeria going to be telling the rest of the world about democracy? That this is where a sitting elected governor, who is supposed to be doing a term in office, after which he may seek re-election from his people again, or he decides to bow out, was illegally removed from office because the president declared state of emergency in the state. But then again, it happened. The National Assembly that was supposed to have done otherwise called the president to order. Rather started saying, on your mandate which shall stand, Mr. President. They actually had to approve the suspension. Well, for Fubara, maybe he may have learned his lessons. Some persons politically, if we're going to talk politics, said it was too early for him to have started fighting his godfather. Whether we like it or not, the concept of godfatherism is part and parcel of politics, especially in this part of our world. People single-handedly produce people into elected positions, and then they begin to demand loyalty. Loyalty for me in politics must be 100%, not 99.9. It must have to be 100%. So when your godfather feels or he perceives that your loyalty is beginning to shake, then he may come for you. The thing we can Fubara, we kept made Fubara the governor. But just maybe interest didn't fall in line between them, and Fubara decided to prove that he was in charge. We fought back, and he succeeded using the president. But again, when they said the peace truce had been struck between the both of them by Mr. President, we expected that since Fubara had accepted all the conditions, one, he will return to office. He's going to join the APC. Two, he's not going to run for a second tenure in office. Three, he will not be responsible for the election of the local government officials. Hello. And he accepted all of these conditions. And we were asking, must he be a governor? Yes, of course. Must he be a governor? Because the condition, if you ask me, were like a man in chains. But having accepted the conditions, peace was struck between the two parties. We expected that he would have been called back to office immediately. Immediately. But whatever had caused the delay, because the suspension was to last for 6 months. And Deborah, this is the 6 months of the suspension. So then, what then is the essence of the peace truce that was broke out? we're thinking that the peace truce was meant to, okay, Fubara come, Wike come, let's have a meeting point. We suspended it for 6 months, but you will no longer be staying till 6 months if you're going to accept these conditions. And if the man has said, yes, I will accept your condition, then bring him back to office before the time. So September 18th is here, matter of 3 days. So the man had just served out his 6 month suspension. You understand?
Yeah.
So what then is the essence of the condition you gave him? He's going to join your party. He's not going to run for a second term in office.
Okay.
He said it was the right of Governor Bagu. Now, is it not the right of Fubara to run for a second term in office?
Yeah.
Anyway, these are allegedly, because we've not seen that, the reports of that meeting from the
No,
presidency.
no, if you don't have it, I'll share with you.
From the presidency himself?
I said that if you don't have it, I'll share
Is
with
it coming from the presidency?
you. A peace meeting was held between the two parties, and the conditions were stated.
The presidency released that report.
So you have not heard.
No, we've not seen categorically
It is within
when
the media space. If you don't have, I'll share with you.
allegedly, because there's no backing to it. He doesn't bear the signature of the president so
You
far.
want the president to sign?
Sure. So is allegedly.
No,
And
no,
his
don't say that.
his handlers have not come out to say this is emanating from the presidency.
Whose handlers now?
The president's handlers.
Are you aware there was a peace meeting?
We are aware,
So what
but
is the outcome
they've
of
not
this
made
meeting?
they've not made that public.
You are not aware of it.
All right.
We have it within. It's within the media space.
All right.
You can search for it.
All right.
If you don't
In
have it, I'll
as
make
much
it
as he
available.
doesn't bear the signature of the premature of the president
Whichever-
or his handlers,
What
who
other
can
agreement do you
is
think
only
that is having the president's
no
signature?
whatever we have is assumption that this is what transpired in
No,
the
no,
meeting.
don't say assumption. Don't say assumption. We have the condition.
Fubra has not
Do you know there was
Fubra has
not a
not come
peace
out.
meeting?
Fubra has not come out to say that this is the condition given
You
to
need
him,
Fubara to come out to
and
tell
the
you?
presidency has not come out to say this is what transpired in the meeting. As far as we know, that was a closed door meeting, and there was no official publication on that meeting.
I'm surprised you're saying this.
No, let's.
Are you aware
Yes.
that there was an initial meeting between Mr. President
We
and Fubara?
we are quite aware of all this.
I'm not talking of this last one.
We are aware of all that.
Now, did you see the agreement?
Does he have the imprimatur of the president?
That's why I begin to have issues with your president.